Shelley Pesci, and this is Barnes & Noble Tagged. Are you crazy trying to get your kids to read this summer? Well, the magic solution in our house is the Magic Tree House series by Mary Pope Osborne. This is my 7-year-old daughter, Charlotte, and she is a huge fan of the series and is going to assist me in interviewing Mary Pope Osborne when she joins us in the Barnes & Noble studio. Mary Pope Osborne has traveled the world, but it wasn't until she stumbled upon an abandoned treehouse near her home that she would give life to the Magic Treehouse series. Dinosaurs Before Dark introduced readers to a brother and sister team who come across some discarded books in an old treehouse and find they can wish themselves to all sorts of exciting destinations. Each book is a mix of fact and fantasy, and most are now accompanied by research guides written by her husband Will Osborne and her sister Natalie Boyce. And we are thrilled to have Mary Pope Osborne with us in the studio to tell us about her latest Magic Treehouse adventure, A Good Night for Ghosts. Mary Pope Osborne, you've been tagged. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me here.
Now, I have to tell you, I have in front of me my daughter Charlotte, who is one of your biggest fans. And so she is going to help me with the interview today.
Great.
All right, Charlotte, do you have a question?
Yes, I do. How did you come up with the idea for the Magic Treehouse?
Well, at first I didn't know it would be a magic treehouse. I tried a magic cellar, a magic artist studio, a magic museum. I spent about a year working on different ideas, and none of them worked. And one day I took a walk with my husband Will in the woods of Pennsylvania, and we saw a treehouse in the woods. And I don't know, one of us started talking, and the other started talking, and the next thing you knew, we said, what if you made a treehouse magic? It would be hidden in the trees. Nobody could see it when it landed somewhere in time, because I always wanted to do time travel. And what if you could put books in the treehouse, and you opened a book, and when you made a wish, it could go to the place in the book?
Why is Merlin the Magician from Camelot part of your books?
It wasn't going to be Merlin at first. I made Morgan Le Fay be the magic person. And I wrote 28 books in which Morgan Le Fay takes Jack and Annie back in time. And then I thought maybe I'd do a Magic Treehouse book that was twice as long, a little bit higher reading level, and call it the Merlin Missions. And from book 29 to now book 42, you have Merlin missions for people who've gone to the first 28 and want something a little harder. So we brought Merlin in as Morgan's friend to help her out.
One of the things that, as a mom, I absolutely love about the books is that they go to these great locations, they explore history, and they learn about that time period. How do you come up with all the locations?
Well, I get lots of great ideas from kids, and I also get a lot of ideas from my own research, and I'm always researching, and then I take ideas down, and then every place I go to speak, I have kids vote on my ideas. I've been doing that for 18 years.
Oh my gosh.
And it's totally navigated the series, and I think it's responsible for the popularity. Partly is that the kids really have given me these good ideas.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about A Good Night for Ghosts?
A Good Night for Ghosts, Jack and Annie go to New Orleans in 1915, and their job is to help a person who's a great artist get on their path to giving their gifts to the world. And the person they help is Louis Armstrong, who is only 14 years old at the time, and he's working so hard to help his family, and Jack and Annie have to help him become the king of jazz in one night. And in that night, it's the Eve of All Saints, the most haunted night of the year in New Orleans, and then they meet a ghost. And by dealing with the ghosts, they help Louis Armstrong.
Did you love the book, Charlotte?
Yes, I did.
We had such a good time reading
I'm so
it.
glad.
It is fantastic. Mary, the book is called A Good Night for Ghosts. Charlotte, myself, and every kid we know, because Charlotte's going into 3rd grade, and all her friends, these are their favorites. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you guys. This is great.
Here's a tagged close-up. Big, bright illustrations and a farm full of fun characters make this story a silly summer read for your burgeoning book lovers. From the award-winning author of Cowboy Camp, Tammy Sauer, and award-winning illustrator of the Guild of Geniuses, Dan Santan, comes the wonderfully colorful Chicken Dance. in which two star-struck chickens are on a mission to win tickets for the Elvis Poultry Show. But their toughest competition, a pack of menacing ducks, sneers that all a chicken can do is balk, flap, and shake. Can our two feisty chicks show those quackers how to rock and roll the barnyard? It's a giddy, goofy romp where cows fly over the moon, ducks surf in a water trough, and one very familiar-looking rooster gets all shook up. And that's our tag close-up. Every week, we sift through the latest offerings in books, movies, and music. And we have some top tags just for kids when they are ready to chill out this summer. Putting it together for my number 5 tag is Create Your Own Pop-Up Books from Creativity for Kids. This is a collection of everything you need for the budding author to create their very own pop-up books. It includes story starter ideas and step-by-step pop-up pointers. Sandwiched into my number 4 tag is Putumayo Kids Presents Picnic Playground on CD. Picnic Playground provides a veritable feast of international songs about food, cooking, and healthy eating in a global gumbo of musical styles and languages. Creeping in as my number 3 tag is Coraline on DVD and Blu-ray. This is the animated adaptation of Neil Gaiman's international bestseller. 11-year-old Coraline walks through a secret door and discovers a very unsettling world. Coraline must summon her resourcefulness and bravery in order to find her way back home and save her family. Roaring in as my number 2 tag is Warrior Super Edition, Blue Star's Prophecy. From the number 1 best-selling Warrior series author, Aaron Hunter, comes the story of 4 clans of wild cats that have shared the forest for generations. But secrets from the past begin to surface that may destroy the clans. Fans of the series will love this standalone edition. Fetching my number 1 tag is Marley Goes to School. From John Grogan, the best-selling author who brought us Marley and Me, comes the illustrated children's book about what happens when mischievous Pooch Marley follows his owner to her first day of school. And those are my top tags just for kids. Hey, Charlotte, look! It's a good night for ghosts, and it's near the magic treehouse. What do you think? Shall we give it a try?
Yes.
All right, make the wish.
I wish we could go there to New Orleans. Mom, it worked. This is so cool.
Charlotte, oh, wait up! See you next time, I hope, on Barnes & Noble Tag.